back. This is Dr. Von Mad for Catapult Time. Today we're going to be building this neat little rubber band assault weapon. Basically, you don't even have to worry about anything resembling mechanisms. It's all worked by the thumb, and I'll show you how. When you load it, you'll load one round like that. See how I've got this right here, and you can see where my thumb's holding it. You'll pinch another one off and hook it right up here, and see how it hooks up on the end of the barrel. I'll see if we can load one more, and you should be able to get 3 round burst. See? Now, observe. Well, I fired it as a double barrel, but still, it's not too bad. So, it takes a little, sometimes it's a little tricky to get it to fire, but here's what you're going to need. You're going to need 4 of these big jumbo popsicle sticks, these super popsicle sticks, and 1 regular. A glue gun, a pair of scissors, and if you want to paint it up with a cool camouflage pattern like this, then I would suggest you get some paints. So, we'll start now. First thing you're going to do is you're going to take this one right here. You're going to do this. You're going to cut like that, and then like that. Now, when you're done, component A is going to look something like this, and then you can kind of just cut it down like that. So that's what you're going to want. You're going to want this little notch and then this incline. So your next step is going to be to lay these 2 like this side by side, and then you're going to cut it again like so. Now, if you split it, it's not going to be a big issue, because the fact that you're going to be, let me move this camera where you can see a little better, and I can work around you a little better here. See? Something akin to that. No, that's pretty close. We'll cut down a little more of an angle here. That should line us up pretty good. Not too bad. You gotta kind of get them close, but there you go. Something like that. Now, if you need to, you can get a knife in there and trim that a little extra out. Alright, so that's your first step. So we're going to lay this piece here. Now keep this one handy. We'll come back to it in a minute. Your next step is going to be to take your standard popsicle stick, cut it at an angle that way, like that, at an angle like this, and break it off. You should have something of a groove right there. That one there's not perfect, but we'll work with it. And that's going to glue into place. Right here. Now your assembly at this point should look something like this. Now, your next step is to grab another one of these popsicle sticks. Now, what you're going to do here is, this is going to form 2 parts of your gun. One part here, and one part here is going to make your hand grip. So, see if I can get where you can see what I'm doing here. So let's glue our hand grip into place. And you can glue that just to kind of any kind of place that if you feel comfortable putting it. I'm just going to put it right there. Your other piece, that's going to be right there, I think. So now, this last piece here, now you could leave it like that and make it into like a machine pistol, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this one in half now, like so. Make sure it's good and even, and if it's not, just cut off the extra, like so. Now this one here you're going to glue on this side like that. You're going to carry it over here and you're going to attach your stock. And you're going to attach that like that. And you're going to put some glue here like that. You're going to glue that in like that. Now, you could put it a little further back, but why? Okay, your last step. That other piece that we had right here, with the one we cut out. Now that's going to go, if you're worried about, if you're really worried about having the stability, then what I would do if I were you would be to grab another popsicle stick and glue it into place right here. So we're going to do just that. Now, your assembly should look something like that. Now, I'm going to add a little more glue because this glue is trying to dry and I don't want that happening. Alright, now, this piece here slides into place right here. Now, there you go. Now, let's test it to see if it loads like it ought to. Alright, let's set this onto there. There you go. Now let's see if we can load 3 rounds on it. And this is where it starts to get a little bit more involved, because this is where you start to do your tinkering to get this thing fine-tuned where you want it. See, right now what I'm doing, I'm loading these 3 up now. I'm going to load this 3rd one up. It's going topside. Now, let's see what she does. That way I kind of fired 2 together. So, what we're going to do at this point is going to use a knife to kind of whittle this down a little bit. Now, be very careful, but what you're going to want to do is cut some of this off right here. Let's see if I can get where you can see what I'm doing here. Just wanting to whittle a little bit of this corner off right here. Give you a little bit more of a beveled edge right there. See? Now, let's reload it and try it again. Go ahead and unplug the glue gun. We won't be needing that for right now. So let's reload it and try her again. Okay, we got 1 round loaded into place. Thing does work with 3 round bursts. There's 2. Now, let's see if we can get this 3rd one on here. And there's number 3. There you are. Now, let's see if we can get it to go now. There's round 1. I have a feeling we're about to have a gang fire. Yep. So, we've got to keep working at it now. Let's shear some of this edge right, this little corner right here off. And use this blade. See, that's the whole thing. Every one of these is going to be a tad different, so. There we go. Now, let's try this again. Load. Round 1 into place. try and get where you can see what I'm doing. Load round 2 into place, and load round 3 into place. Now let's see what happens now. Instead of having, I don't want a shotgun, I'm not trying to get more than 1 round fired at a round. Alright. And there you can see there's another issue. See how this little notch right here? Like I said, sometimes it takes a little fine tuning to get it where you want it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little fine tuning. See, now we got it whittled down a little more. We're going to try it again. Load round 1. Try again. Round 2. See if I can get you where you can see what I'm doing. Round 3. Now let's see if we can get burst fire. 1, 2. Still getting that last 2 shots. So we got to work on it some more. There you go. Let's try that now. Let's reload. See, each one of these is going to have its own little quirks, its own little idiosyncrasies. And right now, that's what we're trying to address, is those idiosyncrasies. So, if this thing cuts off, I'll put a new set of batteries in and we'll get right back to it. There you are. Well, let's see how this one works now. Scan it down. 2. And we're still getting a gang fire. So we gotta whittle down a little bit more. Like that now. I just whittled it a little bit off this edge right here. We're gonna load her up again. The idea is that when you fire it, you just basically want to be able to keep your thumb right there till you're ready for it to go off. See, as I move that thumb up, that moves it up towards the top of the receiver. So let's reload it and try it again. Now, if you were really wanting to make sure you don't have any sharp edges or anything, you could use a bit of sandpaper or something to kind of keep that from happening. So let's reload it and let's see what happens now. And there's a gang fire again. Like I said, a lot of times it takes a little bit of tweaking to get where you want it. Try this out. I put a little bit of a notch right here. So I said a lot of times it takes some fine tuning. I actually had the original design. You can see what I did here with it. And that actually does work really well. I'll show you. See, I've got 2 rounds loaded on it. Now we're going to put our 3rd into place. There you are. Now, see, that one there did right. So, let's see what we can do with this. Like I said, each one of these is going to be a little different because wood, it's, you know, the grain of the wood's going to lay different. It's not always going to be the same. So, I know that sounds like an excuse, but it is what it is. So we're going to reload it and try this again. this last band up here. Pinch down on it with your thumb and hold it there. Now let's see what happens. There you are. You pinch down with your thumb and just release a little bit at a time. So, your next step, we will be back in a minute. We will do some painting. Alright, having gotten this thing to finally fire in battery, we're going to paint it. So, the color scheme we've chosen is beachcomber beige, lime green, brown oxide, and woodland green. Now you can do whatever color scheme you see fit, whatever camouflage. Just try to keep it light and vibrant. There's a reason that I don't paint them to look like actual guns because, well, that's kind of asking for a tragedy. I'm a supporter of gun rights, but I'm not a supporter of somebody getting shot by accident, so. See now, you just barely tell. I probably could have got away without painting the base coat at all because this color I'm using is basically wood grained anyway. But we're going to go with it because I brought it out here. I'm going to paint one side like this, then we'll come back and then I'll do the camouflage on this side, and then I'll paint the other side, and then we'll do us a bit of a range test in a little bit here. So we're putting a beige base coat. Alright, now I actually really enjoy painting this stuff. Painting is very peaceful. It's very calming and soothing. Now, it's probably one of my favorite things to do with these projects is the painting. Now, you don't generally paint catapults, but like the guns or the tanks or whatever, the boats, I like to paint. Alright, you can barely tell that I've painted it, but there's a beige base coat on that side. We're going to let that dry a few minutes and then we will be back in a minute. So, this is Dr. Ron Madden. We'll be back in a few. And here we are doing the next phase of our detail work. And we're going to be going now with woodland green or dark green. Not exactly sure what sort of pattern we're going to go with yet. But we're going to have some dark green. Let me show you what we're doing here so you can kind of get an idea. Alright, we're going to need a little more green paint here. There we go. One more little splash of green here. Alright, so far you can see what we're doing here. And let's see, we'll go with a lime green now. And here comes my daughters. Say good morning, guys.
Good morning. Hi. Hi.
Hi. We are painting this gun now. As we've been working on this thing most of the night.
I like guns.
But you should
always touch them with a grown-up. Do not ever touch them without a grown-up.
And if you see a gun that's laying around, you don't pick it up.
You ask a grown-up to pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you, Daddy.
Yeah, and if you don't know whose gun it is, you definitely ask a grown-up to come get it.
Mm-hmm.
I like to shoot, but I don't want no tragedies going on.
Just in case your mama and daddy have a gun and you don't know which one it is.
Yep, so be safe, kids.
And they'll both have the same one.
Speaking of being safe, Don't aim this thing at people or animals or each other or yourselves or any of that.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
That's extremely stupid.
Yeah.
Hate to use that word, but that's
what it is.
Yeah. And now, and we will be doing a range test after breakfast. I got another video coming up here.
I like painting. Me too.
Yeah, you guys will be getting back to your carbine pistols here shortly too. Now, watch out there. And now.
And Sister, don't aim it at a person or an animal.
That's
it's
right.
Dangerous.
Now we'll let this dry, but you can see what we've done. We're going to do the same thing to the other side. And there you are.
Whoa! A big dino is done.
Now, if you guys will remember, this one here was made kind of like our prototype up here on the wall. Now you'll see we've stretched out had the stock a little more extended on this one than we had on this one right here. Now you could do that. You could use a whole stick and have it coming way out here if you wanted to. So keep that in mind. So there you are, and this is Dr. Von Mad with Kid Mad and the Peanuts. Say bye, guys.
Bye. Bye.
Sign.